time we talk about The View, I always say the same thing. I always say that I don't understand the appeal of this show. And I struggle to even describe this as a show because calling it a show, it insinuates that this pile of garbage that is broadcast every morning on ABC is entertaining, when in reality, there is absolutely nothing entertaining about The View. I would rather watch WNBA dump divers apply just for men to their back hair than have to suffer through another painfully boring segment of The View. But I do it for you guys because you guys seem to enjoy watching me react to the beautiful Yentas and Joy Behar. Well, KC, you forgot about the whoopee cushion. No. No, I didn't. Don't worry. We are going to get to the whoopee cushion here in just a second. The flatulence, it was extra strong this morning with the cushion. The other day, it might have been yesterday actually, I brought up the lack of male leadership right now in this country. I cannot think of another time when America has been this low on what the media calls toxic masculinity. This point is further proven when I look at television ratings for The View. When I say this audience consists of lonely women, that is not hyperbole. That is not an exaggeration. Women who are married, women who are in a long-term relationship with a man, they are not watching The View. They're not watching this garbage. They can't relate to the Yentas. They can't relate to a group of women who consistently bash men. They damn sure can't relate to the whoopee cushion. I mean, how many women do you know who are willing to fart in public? The whoopee cushion, she's got no shame when it comes to that. That stomach gets to rumbling, that air compressor gets going, the beautiful sun hosting Asuncion. She's rambling away, filling the air with toxic mouth farts. Whoopi Goldberg hikes that leg and shows Asuncion who the real professional actually is. But when I look at ratings for The View, I don't know if it means we have a shortage of strong men in America or if it means we have 2.3 million toxic, man-hating women. How can there be 2.3 million women who are so lonely they have nothing better to do but to watch The View? Normally, ratings illustrate the perception of a show in black and white. Ratings are high, it means a show is popular. Ratings are low, it means the show is being rejected. Ratings are so low they can't be measured, it means that show is being hosted by Bomani Jones. Speaking of the Bobo, has anyone seen or heard from him lately? A month or two ago, one of my inside sources told me that Bomani Jones was working the bathroom at Club Shay Shay. He was providing complimentary Prep H to male identifiers who overconsume the grilled wiener. But anyway, in most cases, television ratings, they paint a pretty clear picture of the popularity of a show. But when it comes to The View, I don't think that's the case. As of last week, there were 2.3 million women watching this show on a daily basis. Now, that is actually a decrease of 100,000 from the beginning of October. I'm guessing those women finally found a man or they finally found a job. But what do people think about The View? I checked their ratings on IMDb. As of today, almost 13,000 people have rated the show. The View was given 2.5 stars out of 10, meaning 25% of the audience thinks this show is appealing. I filtered through some of the comments, some of the reviews. A lot of the people who gave The View 1, maybe 2 stars, they hate watch the show every day. I've never understood that. Why would you watch something every day that you hate? Earlier this morning, the Beauties, they dedicated an entire segment to talk about something really important that's going on in the world right now. Well, KC, were they talking about the conflict in Israel? No. To be fair, I would imagine that most of the Yentas are supportive of Israel. Now, obviously, working in the mainstream media, that view is no bueno. Were they talking about the possible terror threat in America thanks to Johnny B. Biden's open border? Of course not. They can't talk about the open border on The View. They can't talk about the ease with which Osama and Mahmoud can enter this country. Now, if they were looking to open a service station, The View, they would be all over that story. I mean, we can't have immigrants coming into this country and starting a business that causes climate change. We can't have them coming over here offering services that sell gas. The ladies on The View, they have a monopoly on the gas market. Toxic gas, it is only allowed to be dispensed on their set. The topic of discussion this morning, it was far more important than menial issues like an open border. Now that damn thing's more wide open than the bruised caboose after the Butt Bongo Festival. But this morning, our beauties, they were having an intense discussion about Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. What? Why? Why are they talking about Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake? I mean, weren't they mainstream pop artists like 20 years ago? I know they were America's favorite couple in the early 2000s. I remember the mainstream media used to praise them because they both claimed to be practicing abstinence. Oh, look at these teen idols preaching a wholesome message of abstinence. Oh, how cute. Oh, how unrealistic. Apparently, Britney Spears released a book recently where she provided details about her relationship with Justin Timberlake that ended over 20 years ago. Is this like a trend now? Didn't Jade Pinkett just release a memoir about her fake marriage to her wife Willa Smith? What is going to be next? Are we going to have Gabe Union talk about her extremely weird union with Dwayne Wade? I can just see it now. Gather round, ladies. Let me tell you how Gabe completely emasculated Wade and convinced him that his son was really my daughter. Back in the early 2000s, when Britney Spears was practicing abstinence with Justin Timberlake, they somehow managed to get pregnant. Wait, how is that possible? I'm not a doctor, but I did go through a YouTube training earlier this afternoon to get a content warning removed from my channel. Last year, actually it was about 18 months ago, YouTube had to remove one of my videos because I violated their medical misinformation policy. True story, that's a true story, but since my channel has been in good standing for a long time now, YouTube, they gave me the opportunity to remove the warning by participating in a training, which, by the way, I really appreciated them letting me do this. But the training, it focused on their policy regarding medical misinformation. One of the things I learned during this training was there's only one way a man can get a woman pregnant. Intercourse. If Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were practicing abstinence, how could they possibly get pregnant? Was this another immaculate conception? Were they dressed as Mary and Joseph for Halloween? When Britney Spears found out that she was somehow impregnated, she informed Justin Timberlake about it. He encouraged her, according to her anyway, he encouraged her to get an abortion. At the time, she was 19. I think he was about 20. He wasn't ready to be a father, and I would imagine that he damn sure wasn't ready to be tied to Britney Spears for the rest of his life. The situation, though, between Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake that happened over 20 years ago, it piqued the interest of the Yentas on The View. It gave them the perfect excuse to talk about one of their favorite topics, masculine abortion. Well, Casey, what is masculine abortion? How is that even possible? Oh, don't worry. Don't you worry, because the whoopee cushion is going to explain. The beauties were debating whether or not a man should be allowed to give his opinion when it comes to keeping or terminating the pregnancy that he helped create. Look, like I've told you guys before, I really could not care less about abortion. I'm never going to have one, so it's an issue that doesn't really affect me personally. But if I did have a problem with abortion, here's my only problem with it. This is not the 1800s. This is not the early 1900s. There are so many forms of birth control that are available. IUD, Plan B, there's medical procedures offered to both men and women that can eliminate the risk of pregnancy. Hell, if a dude doesn't want kids, it's really simple. All you got to do is spend a weekend with a bag of frozen peas on your Franken beans, and you'll never have to worry about getting someone pregnant, male or female. A vasectomy? It will even guarantee that you can't impregnate a male birthing person. But the point is, there are so many ways that you can prevent pregnancy. It just seems that there shouldn't be any need for abortions. In my opinion, abortions are essentially an option for people who just lack personal responsibility. Now, sure, not all cases are that way. There are still cases where I completely understand why a woman would want to get an abortion, but I'm just generally speaking here. For the most part, the need for abortion can be completely eliminated by just taking a little bit of personal responsibility. But anyway, listen to our favorite beauties passionately discuss the issue of abortion. Roll the film.
Condoms are not 100% effective, and things happen.
Well, there are
and
other
then
birth
you
controls
can,
besides condoms.
But for a man, there aren't, because I don't know.
Well,
I don't
that's
know why.
I don't even think you have to tell them that you're pregnant. I mean, it's your body. You do what you do.
But you might be open to what are my options
But
here?
what if he wants to be a father to that child?
You know, when they
get
get pregnant and start getting bloated and retaining, then they can make the decision. In the
That is
meantime,
just a period, and that happens every month.
in the meantime, I'm the one who has to pop this kid out, go through 9 months of a pregnancy, possibly be nauseous for 3 months, whatever is involved, and then take care of the kid.
I know Justin Timberlake's getting a lot of flack since this revelation came out, and I think that we kind of need to give both of these individuals some grace in it. I don't think we've reckoned with how deeply toxic of a media environment and pop culture that was back then.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
You know, if they put as much onus on how men treat their own bodies, because the swimmers, we carry eggs.
Yeah.
They carry the swimmers.
The swimmers are swimming.
Well, and so I kind of feel like they need to put the same onus on abortion for men.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But we don't tell them what to do with their prostate. It's
No,
like,
no, you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
What is the point?
The point is, if men cannot take care of themselves in that way that men do.
You mean wear a condom?
No.
First of all, I like how Big Red Joy Behar makes the startling revelation that there are other forms of birth control besides a condom. I mean, thanks for that lesson in sex ed, Joy, but she is absolutely right here. Modern medicine, it has formed the perfect birth control. Some women continue injecting their face with so much plastic that most men don't want to come near them. Kind of hard to form attraction with a woman who lacks the ability to make facial expressions. And it's kind of hard to get pregnant when men are running in the opposite direction when they see you. Alyssa the Farrah Griffin, she then claimed that we need to give Brittney Spears grace. The media was so toxic in the early 2000s. Excuse me? You think the media was toxic back then? Have you seen our media today? Better yet, do you even realize what show you're working on? The View is a prime example of our toxic media. But I thought the best commentary came from the Whoopi cushion. Once again, Whoopi Goldberg has found another way to completely humiliate herself on national television. She sat there silently for about 4 or 5 minutes. She was given 5 minutes to come up with a coherent thought. And that was what she came up with? Can anyone explain to me the point that the Whoopi cushion was trying to make? I have a suggestion. We should put as much anus as men put in their own bodies. What? What? What the hell are you talking about? The Whoopi cushion was so incoherent, Big Red even asked her, "What is your point?" I've got a better question. What is the point of this show? It's not entertaining, it's not informative, it's not relatable. When they invite guests on The View, the Yentas constantly talk over them. What is the point of this show? Seriously, you tell me, because I can't figure it out. While you're at it, go ahead and explain the point that the Whoopi cushion was trying to make. I've watched that segment 3 or 4 times this afternoon. I don't know what the hell she was talking about. Do you think that The View can survive past this season? There were some rumors earlier this summer that ABC was seriously thinking about canceling this show. Their ratings have pretty much flatlined. The View ranks outside the top 15 on ABC. Could the show get canceled after this season? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate every one of you guys and your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.